Hello, welcome to day one of Scotland's brand spanking new long distance walking trail, the Fife Pilgrim Way. Now, in looking at some of my videos, I've come to appreciate that at times I can come across as a little bit slow. I'm sometimes inaccurate. I can be dull and a bit droll. Indeed, at times I'm a little bit like Dumbarton in that I'm dismally dreary. So I thought I'd try and spice things up a wee bit. And so to that end, let's get things off to an exciting start with a bit of tap dancing. You can see today's route in Google satellite view. Just north of the wide Firth of Forth, our starting point, Culross, sits on the left. The way passes through Toryburn, Cairney Hill and Crossford, before arriving in Dunfermline's Pittencrieff Park and ending at the Abbey. Well, this is Culross Abbey, and we come up a very steep brae from the kind of village centre there to get here. I haven't availed myself of one of the little kind of maps that shows the exact route of the Fife Pilgrim Way. I've just kind of gone online and found a couple of PDF leaflets and a very rough map, which doesn't really go into enough proper detail. So I would advise anybody doing the walk to get yourself one of the little proper maps so that you know exactly which way it goes. I sort of thought it maybe started at the Abbey here, but it looks as if it probably starts, and I could be wrong, but it may start actually in the village itself. I mean, obviously you would want to have a look at the village. The reason I don't think it actually starts here is because I haven't seen a big kind of board promoting it, and I have seen just a logo on a post with an arrow, and it seemed to be positioned in such a way that you would see it when you're coming up that brae from the village. So that suggests to me that it starts in Culross itself and not the Abbey. But as I say, buy the map. Just on a track that sits beside an old railway line. When I was in Culross setting things up and doing my opening spiel, an absolute horde of tourists suddenly appeared. Up until that point, the whole village of the area that I was in was very quiet. In fact, I think it might just have been me and two other folk, and we almost sort of bumped into each other. I presume the tourists must have got off a bus. There was just an awful lot of them. I don't think they would have parachuted in. Germans, I think. And as soon as I saw them, I thought, oh my God, they're going to These folk are just going to get in the way. Oh, hold on, I've got something happening here. I'm sure I'll already have showed you, or I'll show you at some point later on, but that's the Fife Pilgrim Way logo, and I'm not entirely sure which way that's pointing, to be honest. I've got a choice here. Oh, I really don't know. I think it could be this way. I've got to go this way. Yeah, as soon as I saw the tourists, I thought, oh, here we go, they're going to just get in my way. I'll be trying to film this, that and other, and they'll be sauntering. But they all just disappeared into the palace. As soon as it opened, the woman had only just opened the squeaky gate, and they all kind of suddenly headed towards the palace. Much to my relief, because I thought I was going to have to do my best to be one step ahead of them. That's the thing about busloads of tourists. You've always got to be one step ahead of them. That's my advice. In my old age, in the same way that some people become fascinated with trees in their later years, I've become strangely fascinated with gates and stiles and these strange ways through, for want of a better term. I'm just not entirely sure what's going on here, to be honest. I don't know if it's been shaped this way for some arty reason or for a specific purpose. You know, maybe just to let women with very broad hips through. I don't really know, to be honest, but I'm fascinated nevertheless. And you can't just walk through it because it's not big enough for your shoulders, so you've got to do a wee manoeuvre. It's not a decent way through unless you've had to do a wee manoeuvre. Well, this is St Margaret's Cave. Looking a wee bit out in a limb, given that it seems to be sitting in a car park here. At one time this area of ground was very different to how it looks now, and as you can perhaps get a bit of a hint at, given that there's a huge bridge there, I think there's a water course down there. At one time this was just part of a kind of fairly deep gorge, but then somebody decided to fill it all in and turn it into a car park. But let's go in here and have a look. It's free, so let's head in. So we finally made it to Dunfermline Abbey. I think in the medieval period, for most pilgrims, the shrine of St Margaret would have been the main stopping point. But these days in Dunfermline, there's just a heck of a lot of historical things to see. You've got the Abbey and the palace just next door. The shrine or the cave of St Margaret, which you can enter. And I mean, through in that other part of this abbey, you've got the burial place of King Robert the Bruce. Mine is his heart, I think, which I think is in Melrose Abbey. And there is a heck of a lot to see just in and around the Abbey area. I mean, you get some places where they've got tourist leaflets that say stuff like, so much to see and do. Well, in Dunfermline there is a lot to see and do. This is perhaps the grave of William Wallace's mother. There's just so much packed into a fairly small area. I mean, the whole of Dunfermline is just bristling with historical things. But in and around the Abbey, it's just absolutely jam-packed with things. I think, as I pointed out earlier on there, just the other side of the Abbey there's what is reputed to be the resting place or the grave of William Wallace's mother. So, that was day one of Fife Pilgrim's Way, Scotland's new long distance path. For day two, I'm going to do the the small spur between Dunfermline and North Queensferry. I'm not sure yet which way around they're going to do it, but tune in and find out. I'm Eddie Burns. I'll see you again.